weeks, I think.
Yeah, man, you're like slacking. I was here the whole time trying to
You're,
get going.
yeah. Did you have a good 2023?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Q4 is a little slow. I mean, but and people
Yeah.
keep buying, we keep selling. Um, but the interesting thing was, I got over 1,000 subscribers now on the YouTube channel, so that's
Nice.
good. That's good. It only
Woo!
took
On your
13 years.
13 years. Hopefully
13.
the next 1,000 won't be another 13 years,
Yeah,
man.
hopefully it comes faster. But yeah, I only started like trying to build the channel the last few months. I use it to post product videos all along.
Yeah,
Um,
they're getting, I said this to you earlier, they're getting better and better and better. Like the detail that you put into like the videos and like I'm kind of learning from you, like you have to have there's got to be like a lot of photos and video that you have to add. Where I'm doing a lot of talking, but I need to show more video, I think. So I think your content's really good.
I'm trying. I'm trying to like build some how to do this, how to do that, so people find the videos basically. But anyway, so what I have been testing is Wi-Fi 7. Um,
Yeah, I heard.
so so I got the Ruckus R770, and I started doing some Wi-Fi speed testing uh, with the laptop and the Intel BE200. So I
Yep.
got that installed on my laptop. I did a video on that. I'll post a link to that if anybody's looking to do that. It's a little tricky, but then I installed the latest Intel drivers for the BE200, and I still wasn't seeing the really fast Wi-Fi 7 speeds. I wasn't seeing multi-link or 320
Yeah.
megahertz, and all this wasn't really working yet. So I had to actually enroll in the Windows Insider program. So I'll put this up if anybody's trying to do it. This is the build I'm using. I had to enroll in the Windows Insider program. It has to be Windows 11 to use any of these
Yeah.
Wi-Fi 7 features in the first place, right?
Yeah, and that's what one of the guys here figured out that
Yeah.
he was on Windows 10 still and he has to move to Windows 11.
Yeah, so you got to go to Windows 11. You got to have that B200 in there, and then I started seeing some good results. So here, I'll put the open speed test up, which is it's like a new speed test tool that people started using. Um, so it's instead of using iPerf, you run the app on one PC that's connected at high speed, and then you run the speed test in the browser from the other PC that's on Wi-Fi.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely try that out. I don't think I was not aware of that. I don't know if our field applications engineers were using
Yeah,
this
this is
already or not.
it's
I'll
pretty
I'll have
new.
to
Like,
find out.
so instead of I always used iPerf, but this makes it easier. Just load the app and run it. And yeah, and I was getting like 2.7 gig on the upload on this test. I was seeing some different speeds here and there. I did notice you have to be pretty close to the access point to get these speeds connection speeds over 5 gig, and you're seeing actual data rates at like 2.7, something like that.
Wait, say
Um,
that again. Say that one
so
more time.
you have to be pretty close to the access point. Like, I'm
Oh
like maybe
yeah.
10 feet away. It's like down there. And then you'd see like connection speeds. I'm gonna show that slide next here. Let's see. Yeah. So gotta shut this one down. All right. So yeah. So you'd see like connection speeds, and once you have the Windows Insider loaded, you'll see aggregate link speed on the Wi-Fi 7 settings page, right?
Right.
So it'll say aggregate. If it doesn't say aggregate, then you're not using both bands for multi-link on Wi-Fi 7.
Right. Right.
Um,
Now, you probably haven't tested this or seen this. Does it multi-link across 2.4 and 5, for example?
it will. So
It's
with the
supposed to,
Ruckus,
right?
yeah, with the Ruckus interface, it lets you select two bands to multi-link with. Um, so I picked 5 and 6. So it looks like at this point you only can multi-link on two bands.
Yeah, multi-link. Yeah, that's how it operates. It's
It
only on
is.
2 bands. It's not across 3 bands.
Oh, okay. So yeah, they let you select which one. So I would think you'd want to go with 5 and 6,
Yeah, for sure.
unless there's a
But then you have the
distance.
different widths of the channels too, right?
Exactly. So next I'll show the spectrum. So so yeah, I have the Osseum clarity. So it's the six
Very
gigahertz,
cool.
5 and 2.4 spectrum analyzer, right? So I ran this, and and you can see in the slides I just put up now that this was while I was doing the speed test. You can see that there's a 320 megahertz, 6 gigahertz channel being used, and then I've got a 40 or 80 megahertz, 5 gigahertz channel being used there. So
So wait, 80 and what?
80 and 320. So 80 at 5
Oh wow, okay.
gigahertz, and then 320 at 6 gigahertz, and they're being combined together to get the aggregate link speed.
Can you go to 160 and 320?
You can. I don't. Can you do 160 on 5 gigahertz? Oh, with Wi-Fi 7, you might be able to. I'm not sure. I don't think you can. No, you can't do. You can't do 160 at 5 gigahertz, can you?
Yeah.
Oh, you can. Okay. Yeah, so we
Yeah.
could do that. I wasn't sure. I know. Yeah, so usually we set it to 80, then 6 gigahertz we go 160.
Yeah, we just never use
Yeah, we never use it because
we never use
there's not enough
those
channels, right?
We don't
Uh,
bond all those channels.
exactly. I never turned that on. So yeah, so I was able to test like the 320 megahertz channel with the multi-link, and there's other features of Wi-Fi 7 coming soon. That next year maybe that we'll be able to add in there too, right?
Yep.
And I think those are the two big features that people are going to be looking for, right?
That is, I mean, there's multiple features, but yeah, they're the main two. Like everybody's talking about 320 megahertz wide channels, and multi-link is, I think, the one that most everybody's excited about. Um, I mean, in addition to using more 160 megahertz channels and 6 gigahertz is a huge benefit. But
Right.
yeah, multi-link is probably the most talked about needed feature, I think,
Yeah, and
because you're not only just improving the speed, you're improving, you have more reliability, right? So
right.
if a link breaks, the one of the links is supposed to continue to stay up,
Yes.
and it's the same data being passed too. So you have more reliability there. So
Yeah,
multi-link is
I
a
didn't
big deal.
test that yet, but yeah, so it's going to be more reliable. I didn't test like distance or anything like that yet. It's still pretty early.
Yeah.
But yeah, the 320 megahertz is pretty interesting. That in that the way that Windows needs to be at this latest service latest update to get any of that stuff. And I also noticed that that Windows, like there was a little animation on the Wi-Fi icon when it connects. It instead of just going lighting up, it kind of like it changes the animation with this latest feature pack. Do you see that? Have you ever seen Windows do that?
I don't think so. I think you showed that.
I did. I put it on LinkedIn because I was like,
Oh,
"Is
that's what it
anyone?
was. Yeah.
Is
I don't
this new?"
think
Because
I've seen.
before I never saw it. Now it goes like this. It goes like this when it's connecting. I don't know if that's Signal's multi-link or Wi-Fi 7, but I did notice
Yeah,
that
probably
too.
just Wi-Fi 7, I would assume. Just in
Possibly.
general.
I would think that Windows would even say Wi-Fi 7 because I know like when WPA3 got activated, right? It would give you like a little message
Yep.
that Windows is keeping you safe or something like that.
Yeah.
So, okay, so I also noticed that I'm getting an EnGenius ECW536. That's the next Wi-Fi 7 access point I get to test, right?
Yep. Yeah, the ECW536, which we're now shipping.
Yeah.
Right? So you should be the first to get, an actual unit.
Nice.
Yeah, so that guy's a beast. It's a 4x4x4 operating on 3 bands. It will support multi-link. It will support 320. So it supports all those, the QAM, the extra QAM So there's a multiple thing.
And it's 4x4 on all bands?
Yeah, yep.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I don't think that the R770, I don't think even does that.
Yeah. But your client that you're using is a 2x2, right?
It is, but I mean, most clients can be 2x2, but you know, having those additional radio chains just helps improve range, you know, and speed at range. You know what I mean? It has those extra radio chains to bounce the signal off of.
Right.
So it's always better to have a 4x4 or 2x2, but I guess it's like, what band are you expecting most of your clients to be on? But you know, if the 536 is going to be 4x4 on all bands, which is great.
Yep.
And what kind of the power requirement for that is it's PoE? What is that?
It's BT. It is PoE
BT.
Plus. Yep.
So you'll need to use a BT injector or switch. We do have BT injectors in stock too. If anybody,
yeah, and it will operate on a 12 volt 3 amp.
12 volt 3 amp power supply. Okay.
Yep. 3 amp.
3 amp. That's big. That's big. So I'd probably use the BT injector or switch.
I would do. Yeah, it's going to be
10
I
gigabit.
would start with the PoE switch. PoE plus switch, the 10 gig.
Yeah, and the interface is it 10 gig on that?
It is. It has two 10 gigabit.
Two 10 gigabit interfaces. Okay, so that's also really good. A lot of them only have one 10 gig. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. And I was noticing just on my single client testing that I was getting over 2.5 gig. I was getting 2.7 actual throughput on a single client, right? So to get the most out of it with multiple clients and a busy network, you're going to need 10 gig.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to restrict that pipeline at all. So you need to go bigger, right? So
yeah, I mean,
that's
5 gig will probably be 5 gig's probably sufficient, right? But I mean, if you're going to go to 5 gig, most of the switches are 10 gig also.
Yeah. So we wanted to make sure you could take full advantage.
Yeah, and I think you'll need to. So that 10 gig PoE plus switch. What's the model number?
On the switch?
Yeah.
ECS 5512 FP.
Okay, 5512 FP is probably the one that you should use with this access point to get.
That's the one I run at home.
I wish I could have one of those. So maybe someday. So we'll be testing that one probably for next week. I'll have some
Yeah, you should. One. Yeah, you should get it. What, tomorrow or maybe Monday?
Yeah, I'll be testing it all weekend. We're gonna get a big snowstorm out here, so.
Oh, so you'll have plenty of time.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Brian. Anything else you want to talk about this week?
No, that's it.
All right.
Just the 536 is shipping now, so
Yeah, we have it on the website. If anyone wants to buy it, contact me. I can send you a quote, and if you have any questions about it. But yeah, that's the next generation. That's if you want to be cutting edge, Wi-Fi 7 is the way to go.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, remember to like and subscribe. We'll be back next week with some more Wi-Fi 7.